Congrats on the film and congrats on it being on Blu-ray first and foremost. What has it been like to have the movie now out into the world and have all its secrets be revealed and kind of see the response from fans?
I feel like literally like a weight has been, no. I mean, it was pretty easy to keep these secrets because it's just something, as obviously a fan, it's like I want everyone to, feel like they're seeing all the secrets unfold as they're watching the movie. So I was very careful to not say anything. I think there was only one time where I was in the middle of saying, answering a question. I was like, oh, I can't, I need to stop right here. But I mean, just seeing the reaction to America and seeing how much people love her and want to see more of her is just, and the fact that people are cosplaying her is pretty insane.
It sounds like Tom Holland and Mark Ruffalo could learn some secrets from you about so you kind of mentioned it about the cosplay and everything. Are there any reactions that you got from fans that really surprised you that like you were not prepared for, like in the lead up to the movie?
Kind of all of it. I was not prepared for it because I had no idea what it was going to be or if people were going to like the character. I just hoped that people really liked the character. That was the main thing. I mean, it's the aftermath of how much people come up to me and tell me, that it just means so much to them that I'm on the screen and that I'm there being, their representative, and just also that they can see themselves with me being on screen, which is just so important. And I'm just so happy that I get to be that for them. And also just the fact that some girls are like they shake when they see me. They're like shaking, and they just like, some of them don't even want a photo, or they forget to ask for a photo. And so I'll be like, do you want to take a photo? We can take a photo. And they just want to hug me. It's so sweet. And I'm so glad that I can be that for young girls,
That is so adorable. So when you started your months-long audition process of being in the movie, what was it about America that really drew you to her? When
I was auditioning, I didn't know what the character was for or who it was. It wasn't until I did my screen test in London. It was like I was already in the UK. I'd already signed stuff, so I couldn't say anything. And then I went on their secret website, everything, and it was super locked and crazy. When I realized it said America, and I was like, oh, this is Marvel. This is okay. I'm understanding what this is. And I started reading the comics, and I was like, okay. I mean, obviously, what I've been doing in my auditions, they already liked. So I just started adding more of that kind of confidence and all that kind of things that make America, America, and adding that into my audition. And then, of course, in the script, it was just keeping her young, and also, because she's a younger version than all the versions in the comics. She's way younger. So keeping that, and also the fact that she didn't really know how to control her powers. That was a main point.
I love it. And so I can imagine working with Sam Raimi was probably an incredible experience. What would you say was the biggest lesson that you learned from him?
He was a very collaborative guy. He was not afraid to just be more fear, more terror, more tears, just telling me that kind of thing. And that's kind of what's amazing about Sam, is that he's not afraid to really tap into that darkness, especially with Wanda. He was really going there. There's some things that weren't actually in the movie that she did that were just so creepy, and camera angles and stuff was just so cool. Yeah, I mean, he's also just really collaborative, and he's really open to everyone's ideas. And I feel like most directors aren't really like that. So it was great having that experience with him.
I love that. And then what was it like kind of finding your dynamic with Benedict? Because I know your characters don't really interact a whole lot in the comics, but it seems like the rapport you guys had on screen was so much fun to watch.
It was, wasn't it? It was fun. Just because you get to see kind of these two people that don't you would never pair these two people up ever. And then you just see how much they kind of need one another. And, it was also just with Benedict Wong's character, you get to see how these two kind of take her under her wing, especially, going to Kamar-Taj at the end of the movie. We see her at Kamar-Taj, and she's starting to learn mystic arts. And I think it's really important for her to have this kind of discipline and structure in her life with Wong, because especially being on a run and being alone, you need someone to kind of be there for you and call home.
That's awesome. So I loved reading that Elizabeth Olsen gave you some really meaningful advice about being in the MCU and offering your opinion and stuff. And I love knowing that the women of this franchise really support each other. What is it like to kind of have that support and be part of that sisterhood, especially as we're getting so much female representation in the MCU?
Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of representation for women coming up, especially with Amon, and just there's it's just kind of a bond that I think is so important, especially, because we grew up watching, Chris Hemsworth and Chris Evans, and it's just, you get to have, you're watching that dynamic, and you want to be a part of that group of people. And so what was really important to me was that I got to create this bond with, especially the girls. So, I had lunch with Amon, and I hung out with Yasmin and Laurel, who are in Miss Marvel. And just talking to them, and like actually just sharing experiences, because being in a Marvel project is not like working on any other project. It's things, and also being kind of put into the public eye is really hard. And so just being there for one another, and also just letting each other know that, we can have fun, we can laugh, and just be there for one another. And I think that's really important, especially in this Marvel women group.
I love it. What would you say surprised you the most about the experience of working on the movie? It sounds like a lot of things were surprising, but I'm curious, what was the most?
Oh yeah. I mean, there's so much from the stunts to like just getting into a trailer. And it was like, I guess what was the most surprising and shocking thing was that I was number 5 on the call sheet. I think that really just blew me away. I was like, why, how did this happen? And then just being there on set and having all these like cars show up, especially when we were shooting, the Illuminati stuff. There was all these trailers that had, these names on them, that it's like, I was just like, oh my gosh, Sir Patrick Stewart, what? And then all these cars lining up, and just like, it really felt real. Cause we would have drivers, drop us off and pick us up, so having all these like kind of limousine cars, and having all these actors kind of come out and get ready, go into hair and makeup, and you kind of see them with their cloaks on and everything. It's just like, that was pretty crazy. It was just really weird to me. I was like, what is going on?
Oh my God, I can only imagine. So you mentioned kind of where America is at the end of the movie. Whenever we see her next, what qualities and what parts of her are you most excited to explore?
Yeah, I mean, I haven't gotten told I haven't been told anything yet. But obviously there's a lot more to America. And I think we've only seen a brief introduction to America, and I'm very proud of how she's been received, and that people love her and want to see more of her. And it just really warms my heart, because I feel like she's got lots of backstory that's just kind of been waiting to be told. And she's got more to discover about herself and her powers, and her mom's, of course, and all that.
All right. Well, before I let you go, obviously last weekend at Comic-Con, we heard so much news about the future of Marvel, including all of the Avengers movies and everything else. It sounds like there's so much potential for characters to meet up and cross over. With all of that on the horizon, who are you most excited to kind of bump elbows with, actors or characters?
Yeah, I mean, I hope that America kind of gets to be in a show or in a movie with Loki, because I think that could be really fun, especially because of the comics. But I think that could be a fun dynamic to watch. But also Kang seems like a great villain, and I'm super excited for what he's about to unleash with all of that. But hopefully America will get to be in a Kang related project. I think that would be really cool.
Awesome. Well, I'm going to definitely hope for that, because that would be so much fun to see.
Yeah.
Well, thank you so much for taking the time to talk to me, and congrats on the movie. You guys did such an incredible job.
Thank you so much. It was lovely talking to you.
All right.